Have you ever wondered why you react the way you do in relationships? Why some people fear abandonment while others avoid getting too close? What if I told you most of it didn't start with your partner, but it actually started at your home? Let's deep dive into it, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back to the Road Up podcast. Today we are getting into something very real, something most people don't even realize is controlling their lives in general, the role of a family shaping our future relationships. Not in a blaming way, but in a very understanding way, because once you see it, then you really can't unsee it anymore. So, like I said, from the beginning of this family dynamics season, I'm always trying to tell you that we are not trying to blame anyone, rather, we are trying to understand on the most parts because, like, everyone is going through something and everyone has their own opinions and perspectives towards life based on their own experience and stuff. So, the thing is, we are not trying to blame anyone, we are just trying to understand in a 360-degree kind of a way and analyze and move forward in a best possible scenario possible, right? Let's deep dive into it with no further ado, right? Let's just say your first relationship was your actually your family, right? Before you ever loved someone or before you ever got heartbroken, you learned everything about connection from your own family, how love is expressed, how conflict is handled, whether emotions are safe or ignored. If you grew up in a calm environment, you probably see relationships as safe. If you grew up in chaos, your nervous system naturally might think chaos is normal. And these things, yeah. And moving on to the next, patterns we carry without realizing, right? This is where it gets very interesting actually. A lot of us we were thinking making that we are making independent choices in relationships, but in reality we are just repeating the patterns. If you carefully observe that about your own self, you're just going to repeat whatever you already learned. Yeah, like some people choose emotionally unavailable people and they're happy with it. Now, if you see in public, like there are lots of people who specifically end up with non-emotional people and also like toxic people in general, or they have a tendency to over giving to feel valued, or in general trying to avoid vulnerability kind of a thing, not because they want to suffer, but because I think for them it almost feels like it's very very familiar thing. That's the thing, they get that from their own family members and not knowing that it may not be the normal one. Yeah, most people are very much confused too, that if you don't observe outside world that much, then you might think up or ended up with whatever you know is everything, and that's the only thing that actually there in the world. So kind of a thing, you get my point, right? So that's why it's very much necessary to understand so many things out of your comfort zone, and the moment you try things out, then you will understand there are so many things that do exist outside of what you actually know. And that's why we see these kind of people a lot in general, like these people specifically go will find out toxic whatever not crazy kind of non-emotional people, which can affect their whole life for mental health. And they even get married to that person, and they will stay in that marriage, they will suffer all these things thinking that that other person might change, and so on and so forth. Yeah, these things, they like, I mean, for them that just sounds normal based on their experience. We're not going to blame them again, but we're trying to understand that. That's why some people deliberately only attract emotionally available people, those who have boundaries, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, these are, we subconsciously carry these things without us realizing we are carrying it for the most of the time, right? Like I said, it's not about blaming anyone, and that's the most important thing we have to keep in mind. Because, like I said before, this is not that we are trying to blame any parents nor your family members or vice versa. We're just, they're also operating from their own conditioning too, because your parents are the way they are because of their parents, or their experiences that they had, or things they went through, or the trauma they went through, and so on and so forth. So the whole point of going through all these episodes is to understand in a deeper sense, not to blame anyone, nor to get like, yay, I'm right, yay, your parent is wrong, yay. That's not the whole theme of this season at all. The whole theme of this thing is to understand both ways in a much, much deeper sense. Because understanding this gives you more power, because you stop asking why this is happening to me, and you can simply start asking like what pattern I am repeating and what patterns I can stop. That pattern should end. This is not a good pattern, or this is not a good thing, so that you will realize and you at least take proactive thing and you stop doing it. That's the important thing. Moving on, basically this is breaking the cycle in general. Like, the first step how you can break this cycle is very simple. Number one is awareness. Awareness is the step one. But what next? You have to start observing your triggers. Basically means every person on this planet have certain triggers based on that happens through their life experience, and so on and so forth. Again, we are not trying to blame here. We are trying to break the cycles without hurting anyone as much as possible. So the moment you start observing your triggers and start noticing your reactions in such relationships, ask yourself, is this coming from my present, or is this coming from my past experiences that I had with my family, and that is shaping in, and then that pattern is just repeating into my current relationships, right? So you have to get that analogy, or you have to at least self-aware. I mean, all these things are very much self-explanatory kind of a things, to be honest. But acknowledging them that they exist is the primary thing that we all miss in general. So that the moment you notice you have like certain bad patterns in you, or certain, what do you call certain negative things and stuff like that, and you have to be so much aware that you should come to a conclusion that okay, enough is enough. looks like my family, or I had the thing with my family has this sort of negative cycle or negative pattern that I am carrying, and I have to stop that, I have to end that right away. And you can do that in a very, very healthiest way, right? Let's just dive into building healthier relationships. How we can do it. When you understand the patterns, right? The moment you understand those small, small, little kind of patterns, now everything changes. You literally gonna stop chasing, you stop tolerating what drains you start choosing what aligns with your peace in general, and that's when any relationship or that becomes less about survival, and it will become, or it will turn more into like a connection kind of a thing that works with your family too. And definitely you can do that, it is 100% possible. But like I said, you need to have much awareness about that, and you need to analyze those patterns, and you need to proactively stop it in those given situations, and slowly you become the different from your family. That's, I mean, there are good things about them, there are bad things about them, because we are, end of the day, we are human beings, we navigate through life based on our experiences, situations, this, that, and so on and so forth. But the moment you switch from survival to more about connection, then things will change just like that. So yeah, that's my take on that. And like I said, people, this is not about blaming anyone. This is trying to understand your family as well as you in general, and trying to analyze it and coming to a common ground for your own peace of mind. That's the whole purpose. Since this is the last episode of the season, I just wanna double triple make sure that you get the right message. This is not about hating anyone, nor over exaggerating or over blaming one side or another, either parents or children. We are not doing that. All we are trying to do is we are noticing most common patterns and then breaking the cycles. That's the whole theme of this. So I hope you are getting the message very clear, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, your past may shape you, but it doesn't have to define you if it is toxic or if it is bad. Or so you basically, what I'm trying to tell is you have the power to rewrite your story, and you can do that. It is very much possible, because I have seen so many people they rewrite the story. And for instance, you can take me as an example too. Once upon a time, I did not start this thing, and now I am doing it. I'm basically rewriting my own story for greater good. I'm just saying that it is possible, but it will take time, it will take a lot of patience, it takes a lot of efforts, and so on and so forth. But slowly you will understand, and you can come out of anything. And I'm just using me as a metaphor here. Don't think I have all these problems, no. But all I'm trying to say is, whatever the thing is with your family or thing, you either come to a common ground, or you either accept as it is and take necessary precautions or necessary things to break the patterns or cycles, or you stop that from going forward to the future generations. That's all. You can be the cycle breaker. That's the thing I'm trying to say. I hope you get a great value from this episode. And by the way, by the time of this, I think we already hit 20,000 plays on Spotify. So thank you so much. everyone for tuning into the Road Up podcast. Your support is absolutely awesome, and thank you very much. And that's all. I'm very grateful for this journey, and I hope this is the end of this season. And I'm going to launch a new season, season 6. I'm going to call it. And yeah, I have been thinking about that lately. What should I do for the season 6? And I finally came up with this thing called. Now, I think most people will love this thing. Yeah. This season is all about relationships. It can be like everything. So yeah, not about the family thing that's going to be end. It's about relationships in general with the partners or with your boyfriend, girlfriend. Like we have I have structured like the whole theme of that relationships will be like how we connect, love, and sometimes break apart. That's gonna be theme of the relationships. And I have 10 episodes lined up for that. And relationships in general can be relationships with friendships, love life, heartbreaks, breakthroughs, lessons, marriage, commitments, life partners, and so on and so forth. Okay, you get the whole theme concept of relationships, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to launch that like usual every every Tuesday 6 p.m. As usual, it will come live everywhere, which includes YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, and Audible, Goodpods, and so on and so forth. So you can check the links that's available in my description, so you can know everything. I hope you are all enjoying. I just wanna hear your comments as well, like your thoughts. Can we do what else you want, and what else we need to discuss and talk about, right? If you have any suggestions, just let me know. I'm happy to look at that too. And that's all for now. Take care of your health, guys. I know most of my videos are being watched by males, specifically from 20s to 35 and so on and so forth. So yeah, I know what you are looking for, and you will get what you're looking for sure. I guarantee you that. So until then, take care of your health, take care of your mental health, physical health, overall well-being, and so on. So this is Dr. Mukund, the Road Doc, signing off, and we'll catch you up in the next episode. Bye bye.